Excellency,
I think we know each other with the union leaders on first-name basis. And I think the number of calls that I get from them in communication is probably more than what I discuss with you. I want to start, an example is Peterson, Kenya Union of Clinical Officers. The last conversation I had with Peterson was actually just yesterday, Your Excellency. And it was myself, together with Governor Sang, that actually negotiated the return to work formula. There's some things, Your Excellency, that are beyond us. SRC is a constitutional body. I have to go out of my way, and the Secretariat, the able Secretariat of the Council of Governors have to go out of their way because we need a no objection from SRC. I signed, other counties have been able to sign, others are in the process of being able to sign. But even after that goodwill, you're still being told that, and I actually had to call him and tell him there's a level of goodness that we can also be able to do, because if we have signed and have done our part, there's really so much that we can be able to do. The doctors, in fact, I know that I'm meeting them on Thursday, actually, Your Excellency, which is tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Yeah, on Thursday, I'll be meeting the doctors. Some of the issues that we've been able to do and work on. Today, we're implementing a CBA, including paying salary arrears, including, we actually had to personally call the head of the Ministry of Public Service for purpose of getting a special code for ensuring that we pay the salary adjustments and so forth. The issue of nurses, Your Excellency. Prior to the strike being in place, the Council of Governors had already put a team and they were already negotiating. Negotiations had already started. And even without anything else, the nurses opted that, yes, they want to go on strike. I've heard the issues that have, you know, and it is okay. It is okay because of positions that we hold sometimes, it is important for unions to be more tough on counties like ours. Because of the fact that maybe we speak on behalf of the other governors. But I, like the governor of Wajir, I think probably because of this transition, for the first time, I delayed salaries by 2 days or 3 days. I have no debt with any single employee in the county government, including statutory deductions and everything else. The issue that we're trying to make sure that it does not happen, you need to ask yourself, Your Excellency, what were the conditions that made a CBA to be signed in 2017 that every government that has been able to come through has not been able to do a CBA like that? When you sign a CBA, when you're in a position that you're under duress, because that CBA was signed on an election year. That CBA held people at ransom. Allow me, you know, and it is the reason why, Your Excellency, I sat down with the two gentlemen at the council offices, and we gave them an offer. And we said, this is our offer. The least that would have happened is we're coming back now, even as we speak right now. There are so many who have gone and broken court orders because of the fact that there's actually a court case that they're actually meant to return. Because when you speak to someone and you're holding a gun on their head, you're dictating, you're not speaking. You speak under equal terms, and if we've shown that level that we want to be able to speak, the same way I've been able to speak to the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers, the same way I've been able to speak to the doctors, we were able to sort out strikes and we were able to amicably solve issues to do with many other cadres that are out there. And I think, Your Excellency, amongst the things that are being discussed at IBEC on Monday, one of them is the issue you were talking about on SHA, that if a county has not been able to pay, what happens in a scenario like that. It is something that is being resolved on Monday as we speak in IBEC. The other issue that is also being talked about, I know Mombasa is not one of them, but it is only fair that I speak on behalf of the other governors, Your Excellency. The issue that is being discussed on Monday is also issues to do with COB. When a county like Nairobi and many other counties have not had their budgets approved, and COB opts and decide that, it is just a uploading or something. But anyway, COB has decided not to do some of these other things in time. And Your Excellency, there's actually a notice that COB themselves have actually put out, that there would be a crisis on salaries. And it's not salaries just for nurses or doctors or clinical officers alone. It is nurses, including the governors and the deputy governors and the CECs and chief officers and everyone else. So, for those governors, the same way we have doctors out there who decide not to go to work, which is a fact. They decide not to go to work despite the fact that they're being paid salaries. One of the reasons why you hear that SHA is not working, Your Excellency, and this is a true story on my part. I went to a hospital and someone could not be discharged because the way SHA works is, and it has been beautifully designed so that there's no fraud. The person, the clinical officer or the doctor has to be able to sign them, and it is because it's geo-fenced. When that person is not there, then you're told that SHA is actually not working. But as a matter of fact, there's a person who was meant to do what they need to do and they were not there. Now, as much as there are doctors who spoil the image, if there's one or two who have decided that, they're not paying statutory deductions, as my chair has said, that is the price of democracy because someone voted for them. It does not mean that the system is wrong. It means that there's someone who did wrong. We do not know the kind of president we'll have after 2032, Your Excellency. We pray for your long life up to 2032 that we take. But what happens when we get someone else who's going to be rogue? Does it mean that the system will have to be now reversed, that things have to go back again to counties? Have we not had situations where this country has had teachers' strikes and teachers' national government? So, Your Excellency, this is a conversation, and I think the issue of human resource is something we need to sit down, and I'm glad you've actually given us a deadline and a timeline. There's a discussion we're having with CS Duale on the issue of UHC. There's no one who does not want. It is only that we do not want a situation where we can have a problem of continuity. That is all that we're saying. But we value every single healthcare worker. We value every sweeper. We value every fireman. We value every single employee who works for our county governments. And please, let's reciprocate on the same. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Chair. I think that is a fairly balanced conversation from where I sit. Very balanced. I think everybody